of the content covered may be graphic in nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely it's really
just I love stories like this because it's
someone scared to death.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Just there are countless stories bad enough. I mean,
people that you shouldn't fuck with.
Right, and the JFK assassination limo.
Real.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. You're in the right place at the right time. This is T3TV. I'm your host, John Brzezinski, alongside Steve Buddha Gibson.
What's up?
And Robbie Taglarina.
What up, everybody?
And Dan Albio Rady.
Not even close, but that's fine.
You were supposed to do your Dan impression now.
My bad.
All right, I'll do it again. Dan Albio Rady.
Oh, Rock saved your news.
All right, so we've now gotten that tradition out of the way. In the guest seat here tonight are two people that I know very well. Rob Taglarina returning again for a third appearance.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to start getting paid for this shit.
And then also my brother, Alex Badzinski. So, hello. Yes, a little Baba Booey reference indeed. I'm sure that this feed is all kinds of crazy right now because I keep turning the music up and down, but it wasn't ready and queued up when I turned it on. That is my fault, and now it's completely off. So, which goes to show that I really still just need to get this damn software. Or not software, but hardware to run this
Life
into the
together.
board. Yeah, that too. It's been crazy this past week. We're doing a bunch of things around the house and making some changes. So I've been going bell to bell.
Time to sell that hog.
Well, I mean, it is a seller's market right now.
Quite.
So
it's miserable.
Al, welcome aboard. Thank you for giving us your Thursday evening.
I know my time is valuable.
Your computer sounds like absolute hell, but
that's what you get when you have a 12-year-old use it for nefarious purposes.
He went to Dan Rady's house to record this one.
Well, we tried this headset last night, and it I don't know. I think it might have sounded. The Bluetooth connection wasn't as good as I'd hoped. And what are you doing?
Nothing.
It doesn't sound like it. Are you literally using it as a laptop?
Yeah, no, because I went into the comic room so I can have peace and quiet.
The Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, this is a disaster right now. I haven't cleaned it. I've got artwork everywhere.
So,
Still got that bust of my mom.
Yes.
Big Al, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, it was a long night at the gym. It was packed, and since we're going to Florida next week, I started tanning today again.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't turn crispy, and then
You
I'll
do
get
goggles or no goggles?
Oh, no goggles.
Any sock on the ween?
No, I'm going full Randy Marsh.
Well, all right then. What was I gonna say?
I
right.
could hate on. We'll start with this. I could hate on tanning, but it does make you feel good. I did it got a base before going. I think to North Carolina and Florida, and you do feel really nice, even though it's artificial, crazy light. It does make you feel good.
Oh yeah, well they get the ones at our gym. They're the full ultra standing ones. And it's already 1,000 degrees in there. So, when you step in, I had finished my workout and I was, pouring sweat. You take your clothes off to get in there. And, I just remember the feeling from when I was tanning for the bodybuilding competition and like putting on the sweaty clothes after you like dry off from the
Ew.
fans blowing on you. It's literally the most awful feeling.
Al's contribution to Type 3 goes way back to the early years of being on Ustream, and then there was many iterations of Type 3, and I've even been talking to Bob. I'm going to try and get him to come on and do an episode with us. But it
Does he
stemmed
still live
from
in Florida?
No, he's back in Ohio. He actually went and visited the Mothman town this past week. And
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he asked me to go, but I didn't have time, and I really, really do want to go. And he sent me some crazy pictures from there. But
I thought that like had happened to multiple towns though, like throughout Pennsylvania.
It did. That's like a big thing in multiple places.
But the pictures that he sent me, like, it's almost as if time stopped, and it's like they're trapped in like the 60s or 70s. And then also having like that statue dedicated to the Mothman is also weird in and of itself. But so anyway, yeah, Al's contribution started way back when as a caller, and then a collaborated prank caller, and then we got serious and had some real guests on, and he was part of that, and then things happened, and we kind of stopped doing it for a while, and
You mean my life fell apart?
no. I'm saying like, well,
With
I
all
mean,
due respect.
no,
You
no,
called
no,
the kettle black. That's exactly what happened. You
No.
booted out of that house, or willingly booted out of that house.
no. But yeah, so it's been a interesting journey, and so then when I got the idea of kicking it back around, doing it on YouTube and doing a different format, and so now it's kind of like a hybrid of all the things that it's been, and so yeah. Let's kick it off here with a little bit of news, all right? This one's out of theregister.com. Facebook academics think that they've cracked spotting deepfakes by spotting how they're generated. Computer scientists have built prototypes and software capable of not only detecting fake images forged by neural networks, but also estimating the properties of the model used to generate these so-called deepfakes. The project is a collaboration between academics at Michigan State University, MSU in America, and Facebook AI Research, also known as FAIR, is the acronym. The aim to being here we go. First story, already fucking it up. The aim being to make a tool that can tackle campaigns of coordinated disinformation and the like. And so basically the long story of it is that they're able to now potentially detect deep fakes and how they're made or where they're stemming from. And I've seen a couple of these deep fakes, and I can't believe we're at a point now where we can actually make something like this. It is unreal. Like, have you guys seen the Tom Cruise ones?
No,
Yeah.
I have not.
Buddha?
I don't exactly know what you mean by deep fake. Like
So-
the videos where you can.
Yeah.
Is it the ones where like it mimics the mouth movements and stuff?
Well, it is like, did you ever see those videos where, what's his name from Superbad?
Jonah Hill?
Seth Rogen.
No, the other cop. Bill Hader?
Oh, Bill Hader.
Yeah, he's like on Conan or something doing impressions of people, and then they're morphing his face, and you're like, how is his face looking just like this person? And so, like, very similar to, like, there's also videos where a guy is acting like Tom Cruise and talking like him, and they're somehow able to map Tom Cruise's face on top of this guy and animate the facial expressions and blend these together. It's unreal. It looks like as if Tom Cruise is actually saying this stuff, but he's not.
That came out. I remember seeing those like 5-6 years ago when they were doing it with like Obama.
I think if you
Well,
just
my-
wait long enough, Tom Cruise would end up saying all that crazy shit anyway. Just give
Well,
it like another
motion-
2 months and you won't have to create software to make him do goofy shit.
Motion tracking's come quite a long way from like the last time I was doing it in After Effects, and a lot of it now you can put character pins on specific spots and it'll animate with it like after you do the initial track of someone's facial movements. It's pretty crazy.
Can
It's some
we
scary shit.
can we stray from this for 1 second? Because what
Sure.
Al was kind of talking about relating to this. Have any of you guys ever actually looked at the new Unreal Engine?
Yeah.
No.
How the dude? That's free. Like they give that away for free for people to develop their own stuff.
Yeah, the kid I
How
work
the-
with was telling me about this.
How the fuck do we still get garbage ass video games coming out when they're giving away Unreal Engine for fucking free?
Well, that's because Microsoft buys Bethesda, and then now Skyrim and every other game is going to be exclusive to Microsoft.
Well,
And that'll all
Microsoft
be-
Bethesda's been a piece of shit for long before that, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The last Bethesda game I played was Elder Scrolls Online, and it got monotonous real fast. So
With the elves and the dwarves.
Fallout
Why is that
76 was a huge
I don't know why
turd.
that's funny.
Because a bunch of dorks.
You know, John. Maybe those dorks can fucking finish a fucking drywall patch the right way. You ever think of that?
Dude, they only use stone, okay? So
Yeah. Well,
there
then they
was
don't
no-
need to do drywall,
Yeah, exactly.
which means that they're a fucking artisan.
All right.
Anyway, back with your story.
All right, so I'm going to pivot unless you guys want to keep going on this.
No, I think we're good on the stone.
The only thing, the only other thing that I don't like about this is that Facebook is now doing research into potentially saying that deep fake, like, what are they going to say? Like, if there's something that's true and it's not a deep fake, are they going to label it as a deep fake?
That's what I was
They've
gonna.
been.
That's what I was
They've
gonna
been
say.
fucking doing that.
and
You got a
once
bunch
again,
of old.
they're-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd say you got a bunch of old fucking blue heads with gender studies degrees that are fucking 22 years old right out of college, and they're the ones determining what the fuck's fake and what's not. Like, no, you are
Yeah.
a private company that is just way fucking bigger than it ever should have been, given liberties and essentially putting or supporting a partisan campaign. Like, you don't get to choose and then also have the fucking securities to fall back on or the limited liability to fall back on when you come out and say something wrong. Like, that's not fucking okay.
Blaming all
and
the
then and then they'll have the fallback of when they get called out for labeling something disinformation when it's actually true. Like, oh, our software just screwed up. We're still in the early stages. When they finally get called out on their shit.
right.
But-
Dude, not even that. What they've been doing is, well, it's not Facebook, but like other companies like PolitiFact and Washington Post and all that kind of shit. They'll just do like a redactment or they'll redact, not redact, whatever the fuck it is when they call the story back in. They'll just do it, 6 months later and be like, oh yeah, by the way, that wasn't right. And then
when
nobody
no one
cares
is ever
because-
looking at that article again. It's,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes to the very bottom of a page or on the same article, and no one is looking up that news again. Ever.
Yeah, and really, honestly, you can, in my opinion, and if I understand the story correctly, it all started. I mean, Facebook got this big and this rich from the penny per click. I believe the person that helped set up how Google generates revenue by ad searching, on all those ads on the side of the page, then went to work for Facebook and instituted a similar model. And realistically, that's how they made all their money, which then grew the company, basically allowed them to reinvest in itself and basically grow to the size that it was. That's my theory. I could be wrong. I don't know. But we'll have to ask Mr. Nagel when he's back on here. I think he's going to make an appearance again next week.
All right.
So,
Start
All
taking notes. Things we need answered next week.
yes. All right. This one here is out of Gizmodo.com. Aging Hubble Space Telescope in safe mode following a computer glitch. A critically important computer aboard Hubble has glitched out, causing the space telescope to enter into safe mode. An operations team is now scrambling to resolve the issue. Here we go again. The 31-year-old Hubble pulled the same stunt this past March when a software problem caused the telescope to enter into safe mode. Similar safe mode events have previously happened in 2008, 2018, and 2019, the latter being a partial safe mode episode. In each case, Hubble came back to life in a pattern we hope will be repeated again. Well, I mean, the thing's 31 years old. Did they expect this thing to last forever?
Fuck.
What is
Yeah,
that
that's
supposed
crazy.
to mean? I'm turning 33 next week. Am I supposed to just keel over because I'm 33 years old?
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
What exactly does a telescope going into safe mode do?
No longer zooms in on people's genitalia from space.
It's no longer telescoping. I can't even telescope anymore.
Well, I mean, I guess like there's at least without it probably just puts it into like a power reserve mode or something. I mean, I know that it's got solar panels on it, but it's got to do something to where at least some of the key critical components or software components are running in the background. I mean, just like when you boot a computer, it only triggers the necessary things to get you into the.
No, not my computer. It triggers every fucking possible thing that can get in the way.
Do you think, like, when they were trying to troubleshoot the Hubble, they were like, did you try restarting? Did you try unplugging?
I think I figured it out. When's the last time Dan turned on his computer? Dan killed the Hubble telescope.
What do they still use that like all the time?
I mean, I would imagine they have to. Some of these images that have come from it. I'd be interested to see what it would look like today if they had built it. You know.
Yeah.
It'd be full of imported parts.
I mean, who's to say that didn't happen before?
No, it probably is. Where is that actually? Where was that based out of?
The Hubble?
Yeah.
NASA.
Oh, okay. Like the actual locale.
Where it was built?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's look it up. Anybody able to look that up real quick?
Where was the Hubble built?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I guess I'll just answer my own fucking question.
Well, I mean, you could have been searching for it in the background.
Well, what's the point of me asking a question if I know the answer to it?
It's in Sunnyvale, California.
There you go.
We got Al with the win. I guess we know who the smarter brother is.
Yeah.
You know what? You're fired.
Good.
So, all right. Here we go. Next story. I'm going to save this one here for last. All right. Haunted Mansion South in the South sends TikTok into a meltdown. A video of an abandoned southern mansion has TikTok users in a tizzy. This is out of 2fob.com. 2fob, however you want to pronounce it. On Monday, the account Abandoned Nashville shared a clip of the stately yellow home, which appears to have fallen in disrepair over the years. While the exterior shots feature a massive front entrance, complete with 4 towering columns, the interior views show off a grand staircase, stained glass windows, crystal chandeliers, and several fireplaces. It always makes me sad when I see these gorgeous places like this abandoned and left to rot, read one comment. Another enthusiast shared, someone dress up like it's 1920/40 and live there with me. But it was strewn in garbage, broken floors, a hot mess of a bedroom, and questionable stains on the carpet that had social media followers wondering if something paranormal was happening in the house. It's probably haunted. I don't know.
Ghost jizz.
I don't know. What a waste of a story. I didn't read this one before I went online. Yeah.
I love those abandoned towns, though. Those are sweet.
You should buy one.
Let's do it.
Did you see that guy that bought that like cowboy western town? It's somewhere out in the west, and he was trying to like rebuild it. And there's claims that it's haunted and stuff, and he was sinking all this money into it to make it like
it was like an old gold mining town.
Yeah, and then like just unsuspectedly the saloon burned down. And then it burned down like half the town while he was sleeping.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it was insured, and it mysteriously burned down.
Right?
Yeah.
It was Corky.
This one's out of KSAT.com. You can party in a haunted house at San Antonio Paranormal Fest. The festival will be held at Victoria's Black Swan Inn. Rich with history and potentially paranormal sightings, Victoria's Black Swan Inn will play host to San Antonio's Paranormal Fest in September. Tickets for the festival have been well known to sell out months in advance, according to event organizers, who also said the tickets for the 2020 festival will be honored since the event was postponed due to some sort of something happened last year. I don't know. Festival attendees will be given tours of the historic home, which was built in 1867 on the site of the 1842 Battle of Salado. Psychics, mediums, and palm readers.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Psychics, mediums, and palm readers will be on hand, as well as local paranormal investigator teams and other paranormal professionals. What constitutes a paranormal professional?
Any idiot that has a show on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. Come on, Ghost.
It depends
Come
how
on
crazy your hair
Ghost.
looks.
Yeah.
Or on you.
No, that's aliens, Rob.
That's true. What were we saying, Al?
No, I was just making a joke. So anybody with a Ustream account.
Right.
Not true.
I don't know if this is the same one that Al was talking about, but it says April 22nd, 2020, a man purchased a ghost town for $1.4 million and then gets stuck there after COVID-19, and then a snowstorm hits, and he's forced to live in the private abandoned mining town that he bought.
Holy shit.
I don't know. That sounds like your dream, Buddha.
Right?
He'd even be mad at COVID just because it came to see him. Fuck out of here, COVID.
Right.
Trying to live in my town alone.
It's actually, it looks really cool, man. Like it looks about what you would expect. It looks just like Red Dead, but yeah, it's definitely cool.
This one's out of another reputable source here, ladbible.com. Buckle up. Two schoolgirls who disappeared after saying they were off to visit an abandoned haunted hotel in Japan created a 25-year mystery that resulted in the discovery of their bodies in a car underneath the sea. Still, after a quarter century had passed, questions remain about the two girls' disappearance, as well as some pretty out there internet conspiracy theories. Story begins back in 1996 when Megumi Yakashi and Narami Takumi, who were both 19 at the time, disappeared off the face of the earth. They told their families they were headed out to the Uzo City in Yashiki's car to visit an on-set hot springs hotel that was deserted and locals claimed a haunted spot. A hotel had shut down. The hotel had shut down in the 1980s due to financial problems, but quickly became a hangout for some less than friendly folk. The last contact anyone had with the pair was when Takumi sent a paper message that read simply, "We are in Uzo," or however you pronounce that. So there was not even text message, so they sent a paper message.
When did they find their bodies? Like 25 years later, you're saying?
So
or it's been a mystery for 25 years.
Let's see. It says they were reported missing and 2 days later and never seen again until their skeletal remains were pulled from the Fushigi port some 13 kilometers from their home city, from their home in, I can't pronounce this. I mean, it's very simple, but Himi, Himi city, 25 years later.
Okay.
For years, the police had no idea what happened, but then 3 witnesses came forward in late 2014, and one said a car with 2 women dropped from a parking lot into the sea near the Kaimaro Park at midnight of a major holiday in 1996. One of the witnesses said they approached the car, but it suddenly started moving backwards and fell into the water. Asked why it had taken them so long to come forward, they said they were, quote, scared. So, and so...
Yeah. They were scared. How about the girls fucking trapped in the car? Yeah.
It says, the internet has thrown up all sorts of rumors, including involvement from a motorcycle gang, abduction by North Korean agents, and the real sad truth seems to be that the police failed to act quickly on the testimony of the witnesses, waiting 6 years before the bodies were found. So
brutal.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Matt Tycast? By chance? He was older than us. He graduated with my sister.
I mean, the name sounds familiar.
Gotcha. Anyway, he's sergeant in, I forget where, maybe like Stowe or something like that. Maybe Painesville. But he saved like a 4-year-old boy who was drowning in a pond. He was like lifeless. And he got reported missing, and 10 minutes later or something like that, they found him face down in a pond. yoked him out of there and got him breathing again. Pretty cool.
10 minutes. That didn't kill him?
His parents called.
Hold on a second.
Like as soon as they saw him.
We have a guest. Go on.
Oh shit.
Go on. We've given you the floor. He muted himself.
I'll cover for him.
Hello.
So anyways,
There he is.
For a change, somebody's sound quality actually sounds worse than mine today, and that would be Al's.
Well, that's
and then
'cause
here you come to take the cake again.
Just you talking made the sound quality go down. So,
welcome
Sound
aboard,
like
Dan.
you're under a mountain, huh? Hey, thanks, John. I'm going to actually stay on for pretty much the entire episode.
Uh-oh. Well, then in that case,
Yeah.
I need to get like a montage of photos and do it just like the Rockford Files did for when Dan's on.
I would like that. I would really like that a lot. Yeah, I just got back. I did a photo shoot with myself.
is it
Don't
for your
ask.
OnlyFans?
Were there clothes
Yes, it
involved? Yes.
Oh dear.
Only
Nah,
Dan's.
Only
Y'all
Dan's.com.
are jealous. That's all
Dan-
right. You all can be jealous of me. That's cool.
You got Dan Rady, Dan Marino, Dan Gilbert. What are some other famous Dans?
But no, I did that
think
and
that
I
was
put
all
my
of them.
music.
Daniel
Yeah, it was all of them,
Day-Lewis.
that's right.
Danimals yogurt.
All right, Dan, I'm sorry you walked into a trap.
That's
Hey,
all
good
right.
to
I
hear you,
pretty much
Dan.
expected it. You too, Rob. It's always awesome to hear you, and even
Rob,
Al.
you're way too nice to people.
I love Dan.
Well, you know, not everybody can be a sarcastic prick like you. It takes a lot of training, Buddha. Just a lot of training, you know. But you know, some people
are
just don't
born
have that
with it.
talent.
Dan, where
I
are you
know,
at
man.
right now? Because I think your microphone. Oops. Oh shit! I accidentally hung up on him. Fuck. Dan, can you reconnect?
Accidentally.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Maybe it didn't.
In
hang
the
up.
meantime, I'll cover. Here, I'm back, John.
Dan has gone away.
So anyway, about my photo shoot, it was
No, oh, come on.
It was by me and of me.
By the people, for the people. All
did
right.
a-
Dan, can you rejoin? I'm going to send him a text message.
I traded a
Dan
pair
for
of
Dan.
unused shoes.
unused.
Oh, God, Al, if you're going to laugh, you got to mute you.
I think Al's laptop was laughing.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
screen's closing and opening.
yeah. It's like flapping like a.
Oh shit.
It's like
anyway.
from Evil Dead. Everything comes to life when it laughs at
Right.
Dan.
The brave little laptop.
I was gonna say brave little toaster.
I don't think I hung up
Damn.
on him.
Oh
Dan-
shit.
Dan really quit the show today.
Yes.
All right, so
What
back
were we
into
even
the-
talking about?
We were just going through the news.
Yeah.
All right, so this one here is out of Manitoba. It says white snake captured after days on loose in Manitoba. Authorities in Manitoba said a white snake that was on the loose.
Hello?
All right, there he is. All right, good. Yeah,
Shit, yeah, they caught David Coverdale.
yeah. I was gonna say there were so many jokes, but it just ended up being derailed. Dan, do you have a fan running in the background?
That's my AC.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Now, Al sounds like he's under a tunnel, and you're going to complain about my AC running?
I don't hear an AC in the background on his thing. We turned all the fans off.
Ah, okay.
Dan,
you can really
you're
hear
live from a
anything?
train.
Yes.
All right. I'll walk upstairs where it's 180 degrees. Just for you,
Good.
John.
You
I
wanted
turned
to
off
my
the
show,
AC in
bro.
my room. That's my
All right.
commitment to quality.
You got it.
All right, sorry.
All right.
Dan's already
now I'm gonna
regretting his
talk.
decision on coming back.
I am.
All right, so this one's out of UPI.com. Painting bought for $4.09 at a thrift stop identified as a David Bowie original. A painting purchased for less than $5 at a Canadian thrift store is now up for auction as the artist was identified as music legend David Bowie.
Yeah,
Auctioneer.
but he wasn't known for his fucking art.
Well, I mean, that's subjective, Buddha.
No, it's not. He's literally known for music.
When I
That's
went
a fact.
when I went to a Guitar Center once, they had a guitar owned by Johnny Depp, and it was like, because it was owned by him, it was like a couple $1,000s, and it wasn't a really great guitar, but I think it was because it was owned by him at some point.
It would have
Anyway,
been worth more if it wasn't.
right?
Did it also hit him?
Take a shit on the bed. So yeah, auctioneer Kylie Abbott said that the painting was purchased for $4.09 from a donation center in household goods in South River, Ontario. It was subsequently discovered to have been painted by Bowie in 1997. Where do you draw the line on Bowie being good or bad musically? Buddha, don't answer that question.
Yeah, Buddha hates everything.
Yeah. If it doesn't have a horn in it, he doesn't care.
Right, exactly.
Or the hair in the hair in the band needs to be longer than his, and that's saying a
lot. Bad. Not a big fan.
I'm definitely not a big fan.
Yeah, Rob, you've called him David Blowy.
Yeah.
But
You mean from the time he was dancing in the street with Mick Jagger in that song, where supposedly those two had gay sex?
Oh shit!
Oh man,
Nice.
never heard that
No,
one.
I'm serious. There's a rumor about that supposedly like they were engaging in extracurricular activities.
Wow.
During that, I don't know if there's any truth to it. I've seen it on like Reddit and like YouTube comments on that video and stuff.
You take that back. They were just working on the album.
I mean, David Bowie definitely looks like he could have.
Space Oddity is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. I hate that song.
All right, I'm going to pivot out of there. This is out of apnews.com. Weird living fossil fish lives 100 years and pregnant for 5. The Kolkanath, a giant weird fish still around from dinosaur times, can live for 100 years, a new study found. These slow-moving people-sized fish of the deep, nicknamed living fossil, are the opposite of the live fast, die young mantra. These nocturnal fish grow at an achingly slow pace. Females don't hit maturity until their late 50s, the study said, while males are sexually mature at 40 to 69 years. And maybe the strangest of all, researchers figure pregnancy in the fish lasts about 5 years. So, Buddha, have you heard of this fish?
Say the name again.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, then how the fuck?
So, well, yeah. All right. Sorry. Yes, I set myself up for that. Coela Kanath. So, Cola Kanath? I don't know.
Nah, not gonna work here anymore.
It's called the miserable fucking fish. It has to be pregnant for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that's half the people we went to school with. No, I haven't. Actually, I was just listening to off topic, on topic but different subject. Have you ever heard of brine pools?
No.
They're just like so there's like normal salt water. It's literally called the underwater, and it's just like a very heavily concentrated like of saline, so essentially salt water. And some of these animals that they're finding down there are like, they think that it's like the key to curing a bunch of diseases and stuff, because there's a ton of fish that if they go in there they just die, but then the ones that can dive in and out have somehow adapted to be able to live in like this, I guess would it be alkaline, heavily or extremely alkaline, whatever the fuck it is. There are these areas that never get explored, and they're super deep, and they're finding like a handful of animals that can survive in there, and they think that it can be like a huge breakthrough point for like biomedical research and being able to cure a bunch of different diseases. So
Really?
No, I haven't, like, short answer, no, I haven't heard of that particular fish, but they're finding all these like crazy fucking eels and all kinds of other goofy shit down there that's able to survive in these like crazy conditions.
Well, and then also thinking about that, like, can they survive? Like, they're not training themselves is not the right word, but they're conditioning themselves to survive in extreme conditions. Can they train themselves or condition themselves to not only build antibody for disease, but live with it and live longer too?
Right. Well, so a lot of the animals that live super, super deep are generally bigger and live longer because they have a slower metabolism or something like that. Like there's, for instance, like there's this thing called a vampire squid, which it's not as fucking cool as it sounds. It doesn't actually, it's not even a predator. Like it doesn't
That's
even,
actually my new band name, Vampire Squid.
But they're kind of cool, whereas like a normal squid, it would just shoot like black ink as like a get the fuck away from me kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because this vampire squid lives so deep, it's like pitch black. Obviously that would do nothing. So it puts out like this phosphorescent shit, which is supposed to scare whatever the fuck's down there because it's literally illuminated. And a normal squid lives in like an area of the water that has like a 50% oxygen ratio, whereas this thing lives down where there's only about 5% oxygen in the water. And it's like the only squid that's able to do that. And I mean, I know that's totally unrelated to anything that we're talking about, but that shit's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. Huh.
Is that the one that lights up? Is that the one you were talking about, Buddha? The one that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that phosphorescent property to it.
Well, dude, like, actually, hold on. To go on like another kind of, not a tangent, but just like a talking point, it's kind of fucking crazy to me, like how much we haven't explored in the oceans. And like, I know like a lot of it, it's not even possible to like put a man down there, but like obviously like the unmanned submarines and cameras and stuff can go substantially deeper. But it's kind of crazy that there's such like a heavy push to get to Mars. Like once you get to Mars, what the fuck are you going to do? Like,
It's funny that you say that because, like, Mars, people keep thinking about it as colonization and, like, an endpoint to, like, save people from Earth. But really, if you think about it, Mars is simply, like, a broadening of the horizon. And more or less, if we get there, then it's just the next step to expanding even further into space.
Yeah, it's constant refinement.
Yeah.
But my question is, like, first of all, it ain't going to be like fucking Total Recall, you know? And second,
people are only going to have 2 boobs.
3, wait, what? Yeah, because they're only going to have 2 boobs up there.
Yeah, lame.
Maybe they'll eventually evolve into the 3rd boob.
Lady, come back when you got 3 tits.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't come all the way to fucking Mars for 2 tits.
No, but like the point I was making is like there's this big push and everybody's all on board to go to Mars, but there's so much of the fucking ocean that we haven't even touched upon. There's still a ton of fucking animals that we've never even discovered. Like, how come nobody gives a shit about exploring the ocein, but everybody up normal walking around is like, let's go to fucking Mars?
Well, you make a good
point.
Well, that's what you make a good point, because what I was seeing was the Titanic sunk in 1912, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't rediscover it until 1985. That's 73 years. And Robert Ballard wasn't searching for the Titanic. He was actually doing another mission where he discovered it. And so
It's actually not the Titanic. It's supposed to be the Britannica.
what?
You've never heard that theory?
Oh, yeah, and then
That
it was
Titanic?
done for an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
Well, I was just saying that the Titanic was the sister ship to the Britannica, but they knew it wasn't, I guess, built properly. So, like, they sent it on its course just to crash it anyways. So they could take the insurance money out of it. And they renamed they had flip-flopped the names of the ships in order to, like, pull this off.
Yeah, and I've heard that too. So, all right, last one we got here that I got at least teed up for tonight, and kind of a weird story. Where no plywood has gone before, a space agency will launch a tiny wooden satellite. Earth orbiting satellites usually end their lives in a fiery reentry, but a tiny CubeSat scheduled for launch by European Space Agency later this year might put off a warmer glow than most in its final moments. That's because this WoodSat is made of mostly plywood. Buddha, what are your thoughts?
Millionaires putting that up there.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, how much extra did that thing cost to make?
Yeah.
It's more expensive to build a wooden satellite
than an actual one. We need a liquid. We got to get rid of this liquid cash. What do we need to build? Let's build a
Shoot them
satellite.
gold bars into the fucking outer space.
Yeah, let's build a satellite. That's a great idea. You know what? Let's use wood. It's going to burn out more cash. It's not such a crazy idea since it became widely available about a century ago. Plywood has been prized for its strength, rigidity, and durability. 3 things that are good in a spacecraft. Buddha, would you agree?
Yes, but my concern would be how hot does it get once you are leaving the atmosphere?
Leaving it, I think, is no problem. I think, and then also,
it's only re-entering then.
Yes, that's when you get the friction. The other thing that I would be concerned about is while you're in direct sunlight, you're over like I think 600 degrees. But then when the sun is behind the Earth, you're in negative. Like, would being in direct sunlight, torch that thing? Would it get hot enough? Like, what's the, I don't want to say melting point, but what's the combustion point of a piece of plywood?
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not a chemist.
Well,
Did you say they're building that now, John?
it's actually supposed to go up. Let's see. It'll be going up later this year. Wood
So not
says. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, just not only is wood astronomically higher, but there's a humongous semiconductor shortage. I wonder how many semiconductors it took to make that thing.
Right. Yeah, it says WoodSat is designed to test how well the We Supply Wood, a special high-quality variety produced by UPM Plywood in Finland, one of the project sponsors, can withstand the rigors of space. So
It says when wood is completely dry and not a type of artificial wood, the combustion temperature is generally 451 degrees Fahrenheit.
I mean, that might very well go over the first rotation around the Earth, and it just goes up like a match.
That'd
well,
be
I'm
fucking
assuming
awesome.
that they're gonna treat it in one way because they do make like.
They're going to contract you to do it. Excuse me, Mr. Buddha. Can you please treat this wood?
And I'll just be like, no, that's a stupid
fine.
fucking idea.
No, they're going to send Buddha up to like fucking Armageddon. Our satellite's gone down. We need you to go up there and treat it. Are you fucking serious?
Buddha's hair is going to ignite.
Right?
He
I would
falls
think-
through it, just like
do you ever see the people that are in outer space and their hair looks all poofy and shit? Could you imagine Buddha with his
Oh, man. I'd pay money to see that.
temporarily
Super
blocks
fro.
the sun.
Yeah.
It's an eclipse.
Total eclipse of the heart.
Yes.
All right. That's all I got for tonight. Let's see. Buddha, what do you got?
So this one's kind of short. There's a lot.
You got
of
all right, here we
details.
go. Here's an hour.
No, all right. There's a lot of fucking people on here, so I'm gonna make this one quick. So it's basically about a cold case that started off as like an archaeological discovery, and basically, I know I start every story off with basically because I don't know how to fucking talk. In the year 2000, there was a mummy that was actually discovered by the Pakistan police. Why is that funny? I don't understand why that's funny. Are we done?
Because you're saying it.
Okay. Anyway, the year 2000, Pakistan learned of a Karachi man attempting to sell an ancient mummy in its sarcophagus on the black market for what is equal to $11 million. So after tracking down this guy, arresting him, they questioned him because you're not allowed to do that in case anyone had the inkling to try.
You can't sell
he
that
could-
dead guy.
Yeah, you can't sell that archaeological discovery on the black market in Pakistan or really anywhere. I don't think you could do it anywhere, but especially there. Don't do it there. So it says, The man confessed to the police that he had been given the mummy from an Iranian man who claimed he had discovered it in the aftermath of an earthquake, and that he and his accomplice had agreed on a 50-50 split of the $11 million. So the police questioned him some more, eventually coaxed him into revealing the whereabouts of the mummy. He took them to a location near Iran-Afghanistan border where the body was recovered and taken to a national museum in Karachi for inspection.
I have heard this story before, but yes, go on.
Okay, so once it gets to the museum and they can actually start looking at it, they have all this evidence that points to the fact that this is actually like a 2,600-year-old mummy, and it was supposed to be of a Persian princess. And so they're kind of putting everything together, doing whatever sciencey stuff they do over there. And it started this whole diplomatic dispute between Iran and Pakistan because they were both claiming that, no, we should actually have the rights to that princess, blah, 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 blah. All that shit doesn't really matter to the story. But the point is, so they were trying to claim that this was the daughter of the actual Xerxes, which, unlike the movie 300, is not like a freaking god. He was just some dude. So they have it for a couple weeks, and they start noticing signs that, you know, maybe this ancient princess mummy that they have isn't really legit. So, and it starts being like as they started delving more into it, they realized, you know, all the internal organs had been removed from the abdominal cavity, which would be normal for the time, but the heart was also removed, and that being one of the big things that they never would have done, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just going based off the article. But it turns out that they said this was no archaeological hoax, and the motive seems to have been beyond the work of just someone putting together a scam to make $11 million, and evidence suggested that cold-blooded killers were involved. And this woman who was a 4'7", about 16 years old, which would fit the size of people back then, it turns out that she actually died in around 1996.
Oof.
So at this point they realize, okay, this mummy isn't real, even though it went on this whole big thing of trying to sell it as a legit mummy. So then they go into the whole, her internal organs had all been removed before her abdominal cavity was filled with what the police described as a powdery substance, which was actually later found out to be a drying agent. And then she had died from blunt force trauma that had smashed the woman's cervical vertebrae in her neck, that immediately suggested a violent murder had occurred. And then they were, obviously because of the time frame, they were unable to actually identify whether the neck was broken accidentally or deliberately. So not only did this go from a mummy being discovered, now it's actually turned into like a homicide investigation. And the reason that they used the drying agent was to make it look like mummified remains, even though, you know, the
Right.
woman had only been dead for 4 years.
Yeah.
So they put in like a lot of preparation into this, trying to, you know.
Didn't it exchange hands a couple of times too?
So it didn't say that it actually had sold. It was just talking about being sold on the black market, but there was a bunch
Right.
of people involved before it actually happened.
That,
So,
and then
I mean,
I also read too that it had other people had claimed, like, once people started digging into this and finding out that, okay, this may have been a person that had been alive in the not too distant past, other people had come out and said, yes, they were trying to sell this to me as well. Like, other people came out of that woodwork.
oh, okay, like different buyers that was approached.
Exactly. Yes.
Or that were approached. I got you. So pretty much like the case just kind of went cold because they didn't really have like anywhere to really go with it, because this body essentially had been mummified even though it was only 4 years old. So they started looking into like disappearances in the area, but I mean, there was no way to really, you know, be able to track anything down. And basically it ended up, says the corpse was reinterred with the appropriate burial sites in 2008. And it was taken care of by a Pakistan-based charity. The EDI or the EDI Foundation, which provides emergency social welfare services. And unfortunately, there was no actual way for a positive identification of the woman and or her murderers. So pretty much it just stayed as a cold case. They really had nothing to go off of. But yeah, pretty wild. So these dudes killed, not saying it was the people that were trying to sell it, but they killed a girl, covered her, pulled her organs out, and filled her body with a drying chemical and covered it all over her body to dry her out to look like mummified remains, to try to pass this thing off as a mummy from Pakistan. And they got pretty close. I mean, it was done in the same ways and dressed the same as it would have been like an Egyptian mummy, which is what made this such a huge discovery, because at this time they didn't realize, or they never thought that there was actually mummification happening anywhere outside of ancient Egypt. So the fact that this was being done in Pakistan was like, you know, this archaeological breakthrough, because it showed that it was happening in other places. And it just turns out that it was some poor 16-year-old girl that was murdered and trying to be sold as a mummy.
Yeah. I've heard that story before
pretty
too.
fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you know, you can, I think it was on eBay, you can actually buy skeletons, like real skeletons. I'm pretty sure someone we know
Pat
has
had
one. Really?
Yeah, Hasenall had one. Wasn't that a real skeleton in his room?
The one that Bean tried to flush down the toilet?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No,
I don't-
really?
I don't
yeah,
think
he like
that-
yoked
that-
the arm off it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Somebody got
Imagine.
surprised when they sat on that toilet.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
don't.
here.
I don't know. I don't think that one was real though.
Okay, yeah. But yeah,
Who the
you
hell would
definitely
want
buy
'em?
real ones?
Who the hell would want that though? Why?
Well, it would be cool if you're doing like, you know, if you're in like the medical field and it's for training purposes, like the same way
Yeah.
that they do like the cadavers, which is actually
Oh,
fucking
right.
crazy, because there's like a whole big. There's been multiple times where like funeral homes and I guess like crematorium, like that kind of stuff, instead of burying or cremating the bodies, they would actually sell them to medical schools.
Oof.
And, you know, make money off the top. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, here's your ashes of your so-and-so that died. Meanwhile, the actual body was sold to a medical
Wow.
school at a fucking discount.
Yeah, because like
I'd
I'm
be pissed if I was sold at a discount.
imagine.
I want to get what I'm worth.
Like I'm looking here on eBay, and you can buy like real skeletons of animals, but real human skull display stand, like I don't know. That's just weird. And if like
What's the difference between owning a skull and having somebody's ashes in your house?
the fact that you purchased somebody else
Right, someone
their
else's body.
yeah, their skeleton. I mean,
So,
and
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean,
You
just
think
a
that's
skull.
perfectly normal to purchase a body of somebody you have no idea who they are? That's just perfectly normal to you, Al?
well, yeah.
Oh, God.
all right.
I mean, like you think about it, like if people buy like hunters, you know, they'll put a deer's head on the wall that they shot. That's
Well,
What?
yeah, but
We were talking about another person here, though.
Yeah, well,
I don't really
if
think
that's
it's that. Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say if they didn't care what happens to their remains. I mean, why would it? I mean, if that's your thing, I'm not saying I'm gonna go out and buy a skeleton and be like, oh, guys, come out and check out the room
Yeah.
now, see what I added to it. But
I was
like,
I was looking up on.
I mean, people that look at doctors.
I don't know. You got some sort of feedback. Are you coming out of the speakers, Al?
Hmm?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have it. I don't hear anything. I only hear you guys talk.
Yeah. Out of your computer speakers or out of your headphones?
Out of the speakers.
Yeah. No, we can't have that. You need headphones.
Okay.
we cannot have that.
No.
I don't really think that it's that weird for. I mean, like, I don't think it's that weird to buy a skeleton, but if you're like having a person taxidermed, then that would be fucking weird.
Right.
Which, like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, that shit happens.
And like those
once
old,
again,
I was gonna say those old photos, like the death
when they would
photos,
pose
put
the
them
dead
in-
body.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
weird.
what about the
Yeah.
not even the old photos? What about the recent ones where they have like the dude is like on his fucking jet ski at his wake?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Where
the
they-
guy-
like,
yeah.
one
That
dude set up
shit.
behind the drum set. Oh yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's fucking
it was
great.
nuts. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, like, you're fucking dead. Who gives a shit? That's why I don't understand why people are like, I will not donate my organs. Like, bitch, what the fuck are you going to do with them? You have the option to potentially save someone else's life. Like, and you're going to be a stingy bitch and be like, no, I'm going to keep my fucking eyes. Like, fuck you. Like, do something meaningful with your life and try to fucking help somebody else.
Do something meaningful with your life and die and give your eyes to somebody.
Well, but
No,
I'm
no,
just
I'm,
saying,
I'm
like,
with you on organ.
that's
I get
such an
if it's like
asinine
a religious
argument.
thing. I get if it's like a religious
organ
thing.
donate-
I still
do-
think that you should just do it. But when it comes to being dead, who cares? Like, I wouldn't want to be posed like butt naked, bent over, having the world see my butthole.
Yeah, but, like, ultimately,
How
it
many
doesn't
White
matter
Claws have you
because
had
wouldn't-
tonight?
I'm only 1.5 Millers deep.
Yeah, Rob
I can
literally
speed
had
this process up for you.
Rob literally had an ice bucket of beer. Dan, what were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just going to go back to that real quick. Like, if you know the person, like, for example, if I was very strange and and Buddha died, and I said, I want to have Buddha's remains, and Buddha said, I don't give a fuck what happens to me. Like, that's a different story. And I was very odd, and I said, let me post Buddha, or, prop Buddha up as a skeleton in my house. But now, like, if I just went on the, like you said, the black market, and this is Joe Schmo that you never knew, or we have no idea if this person wanted something like this or not, and then like you're like, well, I'm going to buy these skeletal remains of Joe Schmo. That's the only thing that's kind of weird, unless you actually knew for sure this person's like, hey, I don't give a fuck what happens to my body. You can shoot it out of a cannon, you can put it up on the top of the Empire State, but I'm saying, like, then you have it's okay then. That's kind of like where I'm with it.
Yeah.
Or
There's
where
only
I'm at.
one organ I would want from Buddha.
My heart.
Fucking
Yeah.
start strutting around like it's mine.
Hey, Dan, I just want you to know that when I die, you can pose my body however you want.
Oh, boy.
He's gonna
Oh,
put it
man.
in his car to drive in the express lane.
I
Be
got
like
here.
Weekend at Bernie's.
I got here 3 minutes faster than everybody else. Dan, I actually had I think your microphone's rubbing against your shirt. But I think
I'm not
I
even
had one.
moving, but go ahead.
Really, it's so weird. I'm something scratching in the background. I don't know if it's you or I don't know who it is. Anyway, I did have one for you, and I thought this was kind of interesting, and I figured you might be able to speak on this topic. I saw something today where the recirculator for your car, right, for your ventilation system.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it. Is it true that it's meant to recycle cold air on extremely hot days?
Well, it doesn't recycle cold air. It's basically taking the air inside the car instead of pulling the air outside of the car and putting it into the cabin. It's basically recirculating the air inside the car. So, like, if you're, let's say you're driving in an area where there's, a factory that's putting out all kind of nasty shit, it's a smell in the air, and that you push, recirculation. It's just recirculating the air inside the car, sucking it through and pushing it back out again.
But wouldn't it help the car on cooling the air? Wouldn't you just be recycling cooler air, and keeping it cool?
Yeah, but then you're, also recycling your farts.
I knew,
Eventually
dude.
it's
I
stale.
really knew that was coming right after.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it pulls in. It's still the fan is still there. It's still creating the air. It's pushing the air through a cabin filter and recirculating it into the car, so you're not going to smell nasty air coming back through. But it's just not pulling as much air out through from the outside into the car.
Yeah.
It's
That's been
debatable
around
on
for
which air is going to smell worse.
Right. It's been around forever, that feature, but.
Al, did you bring anything tonight?
I mean, I always have something to talk about. I don't know what you want to go down the route.
He brought
as.
his personality. Isn't that enough for you,
I
John?
know.
Someone's got to make up for your plywood personality.
Yeah, well.
Was he talking to me or you?
He's talking to
Yeah.
me. He thinks he's
I love
funny.
you,
That's all right. That's cool.
I love you, Dan. Well, you expect me to like look at you while we're driving on the freeway at 70 miles an hour?
Oh yeah, this dude. Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. I swear, this guy for 5 minutes, I'm honking the horn. There's not one other car in the vicinity, and I'm neck and neck with this guy in the car or on the highway, and I'm looking at him. I'm honking the horn, and a bomb could have went off in my car next to my car could have exploded in flames. And this dude did not look over one time. I've never in my life. I thought he was ignoring me, and I saw him when I saw him at your wedding, Buddha. I'm like, okay, really, Al, you saw me, right? You're just being an asshole and not looking at me. He goes, no, I actually did not know you were there. I could have pulled out a gun and shot him. I couldn't believe it.
That's fine.
And then, of course, your answer was, well, I wish you would have. But I just. Finally, I got sick of it. I'm like, okay, this motherfucker has not looked at me, not even remotely moved his head over one time. No peripheral vision, no nothing. You are just laser focused on that road ahead of you, like a 96-year-old woman. Huh?
That's a 3-hour drive, dude. You got to zone out.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Incredible.
All right.
No,
so
I mean, I'll tell you something that happened recently. You know, Missy is pretty much a sieve for like weird paranormal experiences. You know, and she had told me stuff that used to happen like with her ex-husband, and it just kind of would brush it off my shoulder. And then when she had moved out of her house and into her new one, prior to us like moving in together, there's a house next door to her mom, and this old gentleman named Al had passed away in the house. And you know, they would say that there were weird experiences that would happen in the house, and like according to her mother and stuff, you know, when people weren't there, lights would kick on and stuff. And you know, when I would go over there before she got home, I would pull up to the house, and you know, the light to the attic was always on, but nobody ever went up there because there was literally nothing in the house. And you know, one night we were sleeping, and it felt like, you know, a 8.10 earthquake hit the house, and it like just shook it to the foundation and woke both her and I up. And we were like, what the fuck was that? And we called her mom to say, like, did she feel that? And she said we had no idea what we were talking about. She didn't feel anything. And, you know, her mom's a gypsy, so she came over and started burning sage to try and clear out whatever was going on in there. But then, you know, another night we had went out to dinner, and we had been talking about, like, Al earlier in the night. And when we left, all the kitchen cabinet cupboards were closed, whatever, and probably 2 hours after we left, we came back and walked inside the kitchen, and all the cabinets were open, even the fridge. Like, everything was open. And I don't know any thieves that go and steal, like, old cheese out of a fridge, and, like, you know, Missy didn't have a pot to piss in, so, like, it's not like they're stealing dishes, because, you know, they're super old dishes. So it was very, like, strange. And then it's probably around Thanksgiving, I had gotten to the house, and I was just laying on the bed. There was nobody there. The dog was in the living room. I could see the dog from the bed on the couch. It was laying completely still, and then all of a sudden, the whole bed shook. Like someone had, like, you know, as if you would walk past a bed and you'd hit it with your thigh. You know, it would be like that kind of jolt. Shook the whole fucking bed. And I was like, Jesus, what is going on here? And just all the time she had lived there, there was like continuous experiences where you'd hear steps going up, or footsteps going up to the attic, and Hunter wasn't there. No, you know, nobody was there except the two of us, and always strange things going on. And you know, after she had moved out of there and moved in here with me, nothing in this house. We rarely ever had anything. But as she gets to, like, into situations where she's getting stressed from work, whatever, personal life, that's when things start to kick on. And it was probably maybe about a month ago, about the time she had her surgery. So she's going through all the physical stress, whatever, and excuse me, I came to bed. It was about 1 a.m. I laid down, and normally she'll have on her phone like nature sounds to help her fall asleep. She didn't have anything on. House was completely quiet. Room starts to get kind of chilly, but temperature's kicking up normally, and all of a sudden I start hearing what sounds like one of those wind up, like the old school music boxes, and it's just starting to play this like tune over and over. And her phone's not on. Her work phone is completely shut off. Her phone's never made a tone like this because it sounds like a music box. And I laid there for about an hour. Music just keeps going on repeat. And the room's getting a little chillier. And, eventually you see the door creak a little bit. And I was like, whatever, I'm just going to lay here. I don't care what happens. I hope it puts a pillow on my face and smothers me. I don't care. But, the sounds went on for about 2 hours. And, I woke, she gets up the next morning and we're talking. And I was like, did you hear the music box last night? And, our neighbors, they don't have any wind chimes or anything. We have wind chimes, but they're on the front of the house on the complete opposite side, and you can't hear what goes on from one side of the house to the other. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, all night there was, this music box playing. And she's like, well, I was having night terrors and, issues from, like, pain from the surgery. I was like, well, whoever has been following you the majority of your life, and I don't know if it's Al coming back from, the old house, but I was like, the sound's been playing, and she's like, it makes sense, because shit like this happens whenever she gets, like, upset, and I feel like when I'm there, it just, like, amplifies it. And you could think what you want of it. I don't really care. I don't have any reason to make these stories up. It was just such a strange occurrence that's happened to us, like, multiple times. And yeah, it was, nothing's happened since then, which is good because she's, wrist's all healed up and everything. But yeah, whenever she gets stressed out, weird things start to happen. And I don't know if it's her gypsy mom to put a curse on her or something, but yeah.
So that happened in your house, Al? That last story?
The music box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I have a confession.
Yeah.
It was actually me and John Cusack outside your house holding the boombox of the music box.
Oh, thank you. I wish I would have gotten up. I mean, I could have busted you instead of the idiot that broke into my car.
Wait, which car?
Right when we moved into this house. That was a super strange night. It was probably about... I got home from the gym around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and as I was driving home, I watched someone crash into a telephone pole. Like, full speed, rip around the bed, and crashed into it. And I was like, I slowed down because I watched it, like, happen, and I was a good distance. And instead of, like, they destroyed the passenger side of their car. And, like, I didn't get how the car was still running. And they decided to try and bail on the situation. And they had, hit the gas, and you could hear the car just getting ready to explode. And they swerved into my lane, and I just was like, I pretty much came to a stop and started honking. And, like, they had just narrowly missed me, and they finally braked, and the car just, like, let out a gasp of air, like, that it died. And I was like, what the hell was that? Like, and I was like, I should probably call the police. Like, maybe this car is stolen, and that's why they took it for a joyride. They hit this telephone pole. But I was like, whatever, it's normal night, whatever. So I get home, I tell Missy about that, and, like, I'm up for a little while, and then probably about 1 a.m, I hear a loud bang outside. And I'm like, whatever, dude, it's probably Hunter busting his head against the wall because he's a rough sleeper. And I get up the next morning to go to the gym again, and it was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I go out to my car. All the glove compartments, the center console's open, the visors are pulled down. I'm like, somebody was in my fucking car. Not that there's anything like to steal out of there. I think there was like that R2D2 pencil holder. I like taken it home from work. And I was like, they didn't even take this. This is a collectible.
Yeah, they were disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
Hey, I got him that for Christmas.
Exactly, and like the odd part was, like, the chief of police lives on my street, and so like, you know, since we had just moved in, I didn't want to like spook Hunter because he was having trouble adjusting, like sleeping in a new house and stuff, and he went to school, and I finally called the police, and I was like, hey, somebody broke into my car last night. And I was like, granted, I didn't lock the doors because I'm in a safe neighborhood and there's nothing to steal out of it, so I don't know why the hell anyone would go into it. And the guy's like, all right, we'll send someone over, but you're not the first person on the street. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean I'm not the first person? Yeah, we'll talk to you when we get there. And so I'm waiting, and the police finally show up, and I'm pretty sure this is the same officer who almost had her eyes gouged out by somebody else on my street.
Wow.
Yeah, but they show up, and I was like, he's like, yeah, you know, you're not the only one, and actually your neighbor 2 houses down had her car stolen. I was like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, you know, they come in from, like, Cleveland, and they come to these streets where there's no street lights, whatever. So if you're listening, you can come to our street, and apparently it's like a hotspot for criminal activity. And yeah, they just go up and down the street for cars that are parked outside of garages, and they try and open the doors. And if they open, they'll go inside and try to take whatever. And I was like, all right, well, you going to dust for fingerprints? Like, get CSI down here? And he's like, no. And they just, like, laughed it off. And I was like, you do realize your boss lives, like, 5 houses up. He's like, yeah, he don't care. And I was like, this is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. And, yeah, and then a few months later, you know, that same female officer confronted this guy that lived on the street who was, like, pissed drunk. And he had ran somebody off the road. And the person, like, called the police and gave him, like, license plate number and kind of followed him to where he was at. And he showed up. The police officer that showed up, she tried to, like, ask him about it, and he was still loaded. And he then began, like, fighting her and, like, pinned her to the ground and was giving her, like, the Mountain and Oberyn Martell, like, you know, fight scene where the Mountain squishes his head like a grape. Like, that's what he was trying to do to her. And it was, like, more police showed up, and I think they, like, beat the shit out of him with, like,
Didn't they tase him?
I don't remember the exact story. Like, one of, like, Missy's friends sent us the article, and then, like, the lady up the street, Jessica, that, like, Hunter's obsessed with, she came down and was, like, telling us about it because she lives, like, a few houses from where it happened. And, like, she doesn't work, so she went outside to see all the commotion. And I was like, oh, God, dude, my street is a hot spot for criminal and, like, people that beat up at police officers.
So, you didn't put on headphones yet, did you?
I did put on headphones.
Wow, I'm still hearing it in the background. It's so weird.
I don't know what to tell you, mate.
Anyway,
Al,
No,
you don't have to say this.
go on, Dan.
Al, real quick, you don't have to say the city, but are you still in the same city that you were before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still in East Cleveland, correct.
Yeah.
No, we went from paranormal to true crime. There you have it, folks.
Oh, well, I mean, you asked, like, a bunch of, like, stories that happened, and, you know.
Well, I was more or less just saying, like, was there anything in the news you wanted to talk about? But that was pretty good. So
I thought that was really interesting.
yeah.
I did see, too, this is more locally for people based in Ohio, there's a bill that's about to get shut down for local municipalities to provide broadband access to residents in their municipalities, and apparently the goal is to block that so cities can't offer it as like a utility, which is like silly because I think it's like 98% of the people that live in the state have the ability to access internet speeds like as low as 10 megabytes download, 1 megabytes upload. So that's what like some cities were looking to start to offer or increase speeds from that. But for whatever reason, legislators trying to shut that down at the state. So, keep continuing to pay $90 for crap AT&T.
As bad as that is, I'm sure it would only be worse with any level of government involved.
Oh, for sure. But
Yeah,
I'm just
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, how much taxes you're paying and everything, like that would be nice to at least get that, even though they fuck it up.
Hey, since we're talking about stupid shit and wasting money, Cleveland Clinic charged me $400 to jerk myself off. Literally.
Wait, what?
I had to give a sample, and they charged me $400 to create my own sample.
What?
Did they provide any solid material for that?
I guarantee Buddha was there for like a regular checkup and just started jacking off, and it was like, that'll be 400.
No, I actually, it was at home, but I had to drive it there.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, back to Al.
Real quick, I got a question. Getting back to your paranormal, so I'm a pretty big skeptic on this stuff. But before all this crap happened, were you like, did you believe in ghosts, or do you not believe in it? What was your standpoint?
I've always had like weird occurrences. I mean, that first house that we lived in when we did the initial like Type 3 Ustream, used to have regular shit that would happen. If I slept in the living room, it's always that witching hour between like 2 and 4 a.m. So, people always claim the different hours, but I would sleep on the couch and the blinds would open up in the middle of the night. The door to where you would go down to John's room would open and close, and John wouldn't be home. Then we had a door that went from the living room out into like a sun porch and like the garage, and it was incredibly difficult to open, but always at that time of night, because I'd roll over and look to see the time on like the cable box. It's always roughly the same time, and that door would like start to open, and I was like, how, unless someone's like breaking in the house and like jacking off to me like while I'm sleeping, like, it's one of those things that just continuously happens.
It was Buddha getting his sample ready.
Oh,
just,
man.
Just
I just
lie
wonder.
there. Shh. Shh. It's just a ghost. It's just a ghost.
It's okay, baby. It's me, Casper.
It's me, Casper. And that actually works. The friendly ghost.
Right.
He's just there to jerk off while you sleep. That was the
what was the
unwritten Casper.
Right. What was the other story, Al?
With what?
You said you had 2 news stories.
Oh, the other one was this weird dude broke in and jerked off while he was sleeping. That was the other story.
We're now 3 White Claws deep.
Right.
All right.
Go ahead.
Rob, what do you got for us today?
I ain't got much, but
Got White Claw.
I always hate the Billboard Top 10. You want to
Yeah.
fly through those? Figured we
I'm
could
just going to read the
critique these.
title. Yeah, I might just play like a little snip here and there, but
Oh, God.
yeah, so what's the what do you got on that first one?
Butter by BTS.
You want to start at the bottom or the top?
Oh, yeah, good call. Let's start at number 10.
Yeah.
So we got Yonaguni by Bad Bunny.
And I mean,
Are these OnlyFans like top 10?
It says Billboard. The Hot
Oh, my
100.
God.
June 19, 2021.
All right, let's just play a little snip.
Even the
here.
name sounds so ridiculous. That's
I know.
unbelievable.
This could be it. I don't
Bad
know.
Bunny. Who the fuck names a Bad Bunny?
That's not a band.
Oh, that's a.
Yeah. Holy shit.
All right.
Am I
Buddha's
on
Jam.
like the U.S. Billboard?
I don't know.
Holy
Well,
shit.
Just as a side note, like, you know, Missy and I are going to Florida next week, and we're like, oh man, we should go to a club and go dancing. And I was like, if they're playing music like that just played, I might as well get a cane out and, you know, start playing shuffleboard with the elderly.
All right, what
Go
do
to
you
a
got
nude
for
beach.
what do you got for number 9?
Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Deja. All right. Yep. First thing that pops up on the YouTubers. All right. This is I'm trying. Just get in the middle.
Buddha has a lot of these on his playlist. Don't even.
This is my
Don't lie.
playlist.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
That's deep.
oh, that's horrible.
What is that noise in the background?
Oh,
Yes.
jeez, oh, man.
That's Buddha giving a sample.
It's like a whale
know, like-
being castrated.
She was like a decent singer, but she's got that hipster voice that just pisses you off. It sounds like she
like-
just woke up or just had a couple cigarettes. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Alright.
I don't know.
What do you got on number 8?
Astronaut in the Ocean by Masked Wolf. Masked. Masked
Yeah.
Wolf.
All right. here
Now
we
that
go.
sounds like it should be cool.
Yeah. Let's see what it's like.
It's just some guy screaming.
I retract my statement.
Holy shit.
Oh, I'm about to pass out. Oh god.
Good thing you're not behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah, no, I crashed a car again. Oh god.
Yeah, that sucked right away.
Yeah.
That's like
boy.
mumble rap. Yeah.
Oh,
Terrible.
all right. What do you got for
Damn it.
number 7?
Can we hear a little more number 8, please?
Yeah, I want to hear more of it.
I'm watching the clock.
All right.
Oh yeah. Buddha,
Yeah,
let's go my
that-
300 and put the
that
seats
sucks.
down and bang, wrap that shit. What do you think?
Holy shit. Yeah.
Dude, we're gonna
This
get
is
slammed
this is
week.
trash.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
All right, number 7, Kiss Me More by Doja Cat featuring SZA.
Yeah. I mean, I've never even heard of these people.
No.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah,
Right.
easy, Grandpa. Gotta stay connected.
There's not been one single rock song on any of this. Another astronaut in the music video, though.
Wow. Did I just? Yeah. Okay.
Did
I
you
see why
select
that's on the
that
top.
point in the song?
Oh man. There goes the G rated rating for the channel now.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
Oh man! I'm fucking dying.
Buddha just wrote that song down. He's gonna keep that one.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are laughing.
Good.
Oh. Woo. Yeah, that
This
was
is the
good.
soundtrack that Buddha
Buddha's
gives
getting a little
us samples
offended
to.
now.
Oh. Oh god. I did. It's like, oh man, did I fucking throw the right number down on the roulette table? Let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, that was
capture the-
great. Perfect timing. Oh my god. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Just boring as fuck and sucks.
All right.
All right, number 6, Save Your Tears by The Weeknd and Ariana Grande. Now, I've heard of both of those people.
Yeah. Now
I
I
have
will
too.
say this. I do like The Weeknd. I'm not gonna stray away from that. I do like his music. it's different, and there's a lot of intent behind the background of like his songs, and the way he writes them. You could weave them into like a story or whatnot. It's pretty cool, like how he does it. Now, again,
do you know if he actually writes his own stuff?
I'm not sure, but I know that he's heavily involved in the creation of it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, that
here.
helps.
Yeah. Let's go over here. Yeah.
All
No,
this
it
music
sounds like San
elevator
Andreas.
music.
Yeah, it sounds like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Vice City. I'm sorry.
Well, it sounded better than the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely got like an 80s vibe.
Yeah,
Not hearing her sing it all on it, though.
that might be good.
Oh, this is his version, so I don't know. I guess she has her own version.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, man. Still got tears going down my face. Let's see. I can't stand her. She sucks.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
I mean, she's
All
good.
these chicks sound the same.
She's got a. I mean, she's definitely a talented singer, but I just her personality, like hating her audience, being annoyed with them, the whole licking a donut and put it like. I know that was years ago and people mature, but she just seems like the type of rotten person on the inside that just doesn't. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Sold her soul to the devil.
Little Charlie Daniels there. All right,
There you go.
where we at?
Number 5 is Back in Black by AC/DC.
Yeah, right. Are we 19? What is that? 80? 83?
1980.
They did have a new single that just came out.
Oh, it was on there.
Probably
Half the band isn't even the same anymore.
It was on their Power Up album. Yeah, it was. I forget. Yeah.
It was
Leave.
something with a witch.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Leave the door open.
That's it by Silk Sonic, and
All right.
Bruno Mars and Anderson.
Notice how all of these people are collaborators.
Yep,
Like,
I was just going to say that.
all right, you know. And who was I listening to the other day? Oh, it was that video with Noel when they said like Paul Joseph Watson's video about Noel Gallagher.
Yeah.
How he had mentioned like you won't see bands anymore because these record executives, they don't want guys drunk on a Tuesday calling it how they see it. They'd rather just tell this artist and I quote him, not directly, but I'm paraphrasing. He's saying, "Go put that dress on, take that picture, and sing that song, Harry Styles."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great video. And
Yeah.
I'm pumped to see Noel Gallagher actually call people out on all kinds of shit. I mean,
Well-
I knew he did because did he call out Taylor Swift or somebody? I mean,
He did
years
too.
ago.
Where and Noel wasn't a fan of like how the how Spotify was treating artists and how they were getting paid for it. He wasn't a fan about it. I mean, he has an opinion about everything, but Taylor Swift saying that she's gonna take her music down and she's gonna make a stand, and he's like, "Oh, what's the world to do? Like, who cares? Shut the
Right.
fuck up."
Yep.
And I've always been a Noel fan, and he's a giant Morrissey fan. So
I like Morrissey.
yeah, I mean Morrissey's basically called all this shit out as well. So all right,
Good to hear someone in the mainstream doing it.
hey, he's
If
not
he- if
mainstream.
he's- I was
Yeah, let's
it's
see
a
here.
household name. Number 4, or no,
This
we
is-
didn't even play number 5 yet.
Now this is actual band, a bunch of guys playing and singing, and so I'm into it. I'll dig it. I mean, it's at least musicianship here.
I don't know.
I mean, it might not be your type of music, but at least there's some sort of.
I didn't even hear I didn't even really hear it though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
let's see.
picture a band playing this.
Sounds very 70s.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like a Christmas song. Bunch of jingle bells and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Right. All right, what's next?
Peaches by Justin Bieber.
All right.
I knew he was going to be on the list.
Son of a
Really?
bitch.
Yeah, well, then again, he's turned his life around. Let's see what's Peaches featuring another person, so another like
That's not him singing, is it?
no. I'm looking for him. Another person singing it. I mean, how many there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god! Every
Cool.
single one of these songs so far,
Sounds
Sounds
exactly
the
it could have been on the same album by the
Right,
same
I agree.
artist. Yeah,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
trash.
Dude, premiered March 19th, 2021. You know how many views that video's got?
It's 12.
Probably
10
300 million.
281,898,039.
Jeez, oh man.
All right. Where are we at?
Number 3, "Levitating" by Dua Lipa featuring DaBaby. DaBaby, get the fuck out of here.
You've got to see the baby.
I hate.
Maybe
I
the
dread listening to this
dingo
one.
ate your baby. All right. Let's see here. Trying to queuing it up here. Oh. All right.
Okay, I've heard that song before. Thought it
Really?
was trash then, think it's trash now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so
it just sounds just like
not my
everything-
jam at all. However, of the 7 or 8 we've heard so far, that is probably the best.
Which one do you prefer was sung to you, though? The one about the kissing booth?
That is true. Yes. That thing has been in the charts for 36 weeks.
God damn.
Oh my god. In 36 weeks, people couldn't get together and make something better than that shit.
All right.
Speech-
Let's go on to the next one.
Good for you. With the number 4 and the letter U. How clever. Oh, Olivia Rodrigo, you're a genius. Oh,
All right. I
yes.
can't wait. This one's got 115 million views. I don't even know who this person is.
She was.
Yeah.
Well, sounds better.
At least there's.
It
Not
actually
what I
sounds different
expected.
than the others.
Yeah.
Wait, so that's the same song?
Yeah.
That sound like several songs in one. But while
Yeah,
there was actual people playing instruments there, she was also number 9. That Deja Vu song. It was the same
Oh.
singer.
Yeah. All right. What else we
Well,
got?
you know, a little bit of credit for people playing instruments there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was all programmed.
Yeah, that's true. The last one, number 1, 3 weeks on the chart. Number 1 is "Butter" by BTS.
All right. What is BTS?
Those very feminine looking Asian dudes, right? Right, Rob?
That's correct.
What is this? All right.
Look like women.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. The top 10 for the week of June.
And there we have it, America, everybody.
Not one rock song, not one rock band on the entire fucking thing.
Of course not.
I think they have a separate rock charts now.
Yeah, but fuck that. I mean, at least at some point.
Well,
in the last
I
10
agree
years,
with you. Yeah,
you would
that they should, you know,
at least see
get
something
a
like by.
song in the
It's these freaking 14-year-olds that are pushing this kind of music. That's why you'll never see. No one will care what Noel Gallagher says because they'll consider him an old fart and they won't care. It's all these Gen Zs that are pushing this fucking garbage
I don't know. I mean,
or helping it.
it's weird. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's that generation that's necessarily pushing it. They're the ones consuming it.
Well,
you know?
consuming it, right? But
I mean,
True.
And in the day and age of where you can record an album in your basement and have it sound like a professional studio from 20 years ago, I just can't understand, like...
Yeah, you know, I was thinking
something
this would
else
be...
is steering the wheel here. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same guys at the top writing the songs. Yeah, I was honestly thinking this would be like a funny weekly thing, but this made me so mad. No way am I doing this. Maybe once every 6 months.
Well,
but
and that's
man,
that's
infuriating.
Well, if you base it off of that, then those same people will still be on there because you said 36 weeks.
That's true. Yeah,
Right.
we have only one that's
Well,
been
try to-
1 week on the chart. The next low is 3, 4, 12, 14, 26, 9, 17, 10.
I mean, I can't even... Is there even any rock on any of this? Like, I don't know. Okay, Lil Nas, I'm sure is not a rock artist. The Kid Leroy, is that a rock artist? Forever After All, Luke Combs, country? I don't know. These number 13.
I think Lil Baby and Lil Durk is a metal band.
Luke Combs did peak at number 2 though. Forever After All. Let's
Is my band Vampire Squid on there?
But yeah, I'm Glass Animals. Is that a band? I don't.
Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger. Yes, I remember that.
I will only ever remember Glass Tiger because of Matt Tomko.
That is it. Yes, he hated Glass Tiger.
And that's why I will always remember that.
Is Glass Tiger a real band?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, number 48. Rob, go ahead and scroll to. Are you still on there?
Yep.
Go to 48 and read that title.
Oh, God. Fuck my life. Number 48, Back in Blood.
By
Artist, Pooh Shiesty, featuring Lil Durk. Oh, my God.
I feel like we're in
Shiesty.
South Park right now.
Right.
Holy shit.
I'm trying. 51, Jason Aldean. I mean, there's the first sign of like somebody that at least has instrumentation. I don't know.
Well, Rob,
maybe
you said there
I'm
was
just being ignorant. I
Number
really
41, Spodum Got 'Em, featuring Pooh Shiesty or DaBaby. Wow.
yeah, I
There
mean,
was
is that a
rock chart
question?
For Billboard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, I was one of these fucking idiots. Just give one of them credit. They both fucking suck.
POV by Ariana Grande. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot going on here.
Wow, Lil Wayne's still around. Look at that, number 88, Polo G and Lil Wayne.
Let's see here. I mean, like I said, I can't see. Drinking beer, talking God, amen. Chase
I see,
Rice featuring the Florida Georgia line. Oh, here, Imagine Dragons. But they're they're
there
not
you
even a
go.
rock band.
No, yeah, they're fucking straight.
I
They're
mean,
the closest thing though nowadays.
Sad, but I mean, you're probably right.
Tell 'em by Cochise and Snot. I don't know.
I see Buddha's favorite as number 27, Billie Eilish.
Ugh.
Did you hear her for 007 movie?
She's going to be the new person that sings for it?
No.
She's what?
No. Yeah, sure. She did the intro music to the movie.
Oh, really?
There's been some duds.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I mean, the Madonna one was terrible, but, like, this one is just, it lacks pretty much anything. Because what was it? Sam Smith did the last one, which was really good. Adele, the one previous.
Okay, I got to say, as far as vocally goes, I don't think anyone can touch her, I mean, in the last.
Billie Eilish, yeah, I know.
No. I mean, she doesn't have a bad voice either. I don't think that she has a bad voice, but again, I don't understand it. Then again,
There's
so
there's no such thing as production anymore, right? That's gone.
No, it's
No,
all
it's- I
production.
mean, it's
That's the
pro-
problem.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
zero
content, it's all
talent. Yeah,
production.
zero talent, no product. Or
but
zero
it's
talent, all
but it's
production.
almost like a mold. Like they're producing things, but you get basically you pour the liquid in the mold, and this is what you get. You
yeah,
know?
and fuck, can you blame the guys that are making millions of dollars a year
Right.
writing this stupid shit?
Well, not only that, but like you look at some of these names on the chart too, and they've got in the top 100, they've got 3 or 4 spots that they're occupying. Not to mention their collaborative features. And so, in the day now that like the album has gone by the wayside, and people are just releasing digital singles, like they're constantly turning out the same, 5 to 10 people, and they're just rotating them around in spot to spot. And I think that is another reason why, again, the internet's made it a great thing that you can get music and things like this quickly, but also it just keeps turning out the same garbage.
Oh yeah, dude. You get
Right.
something completely different. Put 4 or 5 sweaty dudes in a basement, like Skinner used to do, or not necessarily in a basement, but in the bayou in Florida, just fucking miserable and literally fist fighting each other when they fuck something up.
Is that a true
turned-
story?
Yeah. They Van Zandt used to like fucking fight the band members
For what?
if they either fucked up or didn't want to practice or whatever, or had a disagreement about the arrangement of a song.
Have any of you gone into a Guitar Center lately?
Probably like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple months
It's
ago.
depressing.
Dude, it's like, when like you go into a garage and you see like the outline of a tool on the wall,
Yeah.
and like the dust had like collected around it because the tool had sat there so long, and then that's what it looks like throughout the entire store now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's,
it's sad.
for sure.
Guitar Center's not even selling guitars. So
Yeah,
it's
they
keyboards and
whatever
microphones
happened with
now.
their bankruptcy situation?
I don't know, but they've been bailed out so many times.
Yeah, that's not the first time.
Right. Well, I think it's and
But you know what?
go ahead. Al.
I'll say this: my buddy that lives in California that is trying to carry a torch because he's a big metalhead. Him and I were like talking about like buying instruments and stuff, and I was talking about wanting to get just a combo amp, and he was like, "Why don't you just order it offline?" I said, "Because I want to go to the store and hear it and know what I'm playing with." And he's like, "Oh no, man, you just order everything offline." I think every guitar he's bought in the last like 3 or 4 years, he's bought online without ever picking it up and playing it or hearing it like in person. That's how he operates. And it's like, I mean, I appreciate the fact that he still wants to play music, play guitar and stuff, but
All right.
to me, I can't get it out of my head that I would want to just order something offline, and then if I don't like it, just return it. Like, then what was the point of all of that? You could just save yourself
Right.
the time in the store and actually trying it.
Man, this is crazy. So I can't even view the hot rock and alternative singles.
I
on
know.
Bootleg.
I tried doing that. It says,
$11.73 a month. What?
just to see the fucking charts.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Number 3 on there before that stupid pop-up came over, it was Billie Eilish on the hard rock chart. Oh, they've now combined hard rock or hot rock and alternative. What is hot rock? What does that even mean?
Is it anything like butt rock?
I don't know.
No, it's
Listen,
what's
we've just
it called?
we've killed
I think
all of
this
our
guy has to
listenership.
be out of like
Go ahead.
no, there's a guy I think out of North Homestead that has like that channel called the Punk Rock MBA, and he I don't know if he coined the term or that's what they called it, but like it's for all the radio stations that claim like nothing but rock, and it's just like Hinder and shit like that. And so that's what I refer to it now as the butt rock.
I've yeah, there's another name that we've used to refer to that type of music. But I'm not going to say it.
Creed.
Remember, dude?
Homeless rock.
No, what was his name? Jamie Kennedy. When Creed was freaking huge, like he did this thing. Yeah, Chris Creed. Yeah, you got all these college kids that were like at this spring break event. They're like posting ads for on the radio. They didn't do any like advertisement, but they're like, go to here for the Creed concert, and then they kept advertising as Creed. They didn't say it, so they go to make the announcement, or they introduce the guy on stage. Like, you guys ready for Creed? Yeah. Well, here he is, Chris Creed. And John thinking it's fucking Jamie Kennedy. All these fucking people were pissed off. It's hilarious. Chris
Probably
Creed.
a much better show.
Yeah. Oh shit. So
It's just Scott Stapp eating out of a garbage can.
Oh shit.
there was some beef between him and Howard for a little while too, because I guess Beth was on a show hosting for like celebrity poker or whatnot, and he was just a total belligerent a-hole on it.
He played at my work, and
Scott Stapp
yeah.
didn't
Like,
what's his name also play at your work, and people were pissed off. The guy from Stained.
No, no one was pissed. You know, they like performers like Chappelle talks about it and stuff, that performers get a leeway on states that have like smoking bans, that if it's part of your act, that like you can smoke on stage while you perform. And you know, he had lit up a cig while he was up there, and someone like reported it, and like nobody got in trouble or anything. But like, it's just
I can't
funny.
wait for to go to this concert that he pulls out the cigarette and somebody's just appalled for that. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's the same person that probably yelled at people at the grocery store to put on a mask.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, anybody got anything else before we land this plane?
I gotta pee.
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. If everything's queued up. Look at that. Dan Rady making a surprise guest appearance. Why the hell not, Dan, right?
Hey, yeah, I wasn't even expect. I didn't think I was going to even be on tonight, but I'm glad I was. It was great being on with you guys. Even Al.
Yeah.
It was even good not being off Al, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but it was.
Why don't you miss me?
I'm getting my
I'll make sure
detective
that I
license
ignore
soon,
you
by
some
the way.
more. Oh, are
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be going
What?
for that here in the next probably 6-7 months. I got enough work, investigative work through my jobs that I've done over the last 2-3 years to where I can actually go for that license. Because ultimately, I do want to have a detective agency, 5-10 years down the road. So
I just picture your life turning into some sort of pulp fiction novel.
I
She came
want
into
it.
my office. She had a nice pair of stems. She told her problems to me and poured me a glass of whiskey. Dan in a trench coat and a big brow hat.
Nothing
Big
underneath.
fedora. I used to have.
Trench coat under, yeah, nothing underneath.
I had the
Streaker
fedora
and
hat.
Mopery.
I actually had the fedora hat for a long time. I went to Mike the Hatter and had him specially make that for me.
You still wear that?
I know my head outgrew it. Believe it or not,
You got a
I had it
fucking
made
like-
dome-shaped head that you got to get a custom hat.
I had. Well, no, they didn't have one in stock. They didn't have one in stock, so they had
Oh,
it.
okay.
And I wanted it with a special feather in it, and I wanted a special band around it. I had a pimp thing going on, so. But anyway, I got that made there. That was when Mike the Hatter was downtown. They moved recently, but I spent a lot of money on that thing. But I ordered that thing like, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago. And, I tried it on a couple years ago, and it didn't exactly fit.
So did you get rid of it?
So I got to buy a new one. I donated it. Who
So,
the hell's going to want a
Who, to
fedora,
the
except for me?
the local guy down in East Cleveland?
Dan,
Hey, I have
did
a question. When you hold on, when you were getting that hat set up, did some other random guy that was also in the shop, was he like, "Oh my god, that's the ugliest hat I've ever seen in my life"? Oh wait, it looks good on you though.
little Rodney there.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah,
did you go to the flea market lately?
No, I was supposed to go, and they were calling for rain, so I did not end up going.
Yeah, the forecast.
Nor did I go to
really
my North
shoddy.
Carolina trip.
Really, you
My
backed
North
out
Carolina
of it?
trip got. Well, I'll explain that later. That's something I'll explain that whole thing later on. But
That stinks.
That's
I'm
why I'm
sorry.
here right now. I shouldn't have been here. I shouldn't have actually been. I should have been just coming home from North Carolina. But
That
I'll
sucks.
explain that later.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
They were like, "Sir, you can't bring that stupid fucking hat on board."
He was gonna drive himself. He ain't flying.
I was driving.
Dan's never flown before in his life.
Yep.
You don't trust
no
the
shit.
pilot.
Zero interest.
Really?
Yeah.
Dan, well, and that's something to be said because Dan, is it because you like to drive and like to be in control of the car? Is it because you don't have control of the plane? I mean, that's a very viable reason.
Well, the part of it, but the other thing too is I don't want to be sandwiched in between a bunch of fucking fat, smelly people. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to hear loud kids crying. I'm an old fart when it comes to that shit. I want my own peace and quiet, but that's part of it. But I do like the fact that I'm in control of the car, and I don't care what anybody fucking says. That big statistic you hear everybody say, "Oh, you're safer in a plane than you're in a car." Well, that might be true. That plane falls down. I don't care. It's mechanical. Something can go wrong. I mean, the chances are slim. That thing goes down, you're dead. You're most likely dead. You don't have a chance. You're going to be in 5,000 pieces. Whereas in a car, at least you have a chance if you get into an accident. So, I mean, that's just my opinions. And I personally am not I like taking time. I don't mind. I like seeing the what do you call it? Not the atmosphere, the scenery. I like driving through the different towns. I enjoy that. That's enjoyment to me. I don't have to be somewhere like I got to get there in 5 minutes, or else, my head's gonna explode.
No, makes sense.
So.
Oh man.
La la.
Oops, wrong one. Oh yeah.
What
That'll
the
work.
fuck?
No, that was that woman trying to say. Oh yeah, it was this.
I remember it.
Why wasn't that on the top 100?
I agree. That should have been.
We should make a song with this.
We should.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
You think that's the noise she makes while they're fucking?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
just
Like,
go
oh,
sing-
right there. Oh.
La 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 la.
Are you done killing anyone that would actually possibly be listening yet?
We still got listeners, buddy.
What
I'm
a
let-
useless fucking talent that is. Oh my god. Jeez, oh man.
Oh shit. All right.
Does it show what she looks like? Because I can picture it.
I
I
want
wanna
to know
if
what
I'm
she looked
right.
like when he first played that.
Yeah. It's like just like some lady in her middle age.
Was that the record for the lowest
Yeah.
note total, or
Ever-
just for female?
No, I think ever sung. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's close it out. Tune in next Thursday. Mr. Nagel will be back. Maybe a couple of these guys. Maybe even Dan will pop in. Who knows?
Possibly.
Anybody got anything to say before we close it out?
I'm looking up the lady with the Guinness lowest vocal note by a female. Yeah, pretty much. It's a little better than you pictured, but she looks like she used to be a witch in like 8th grade.
Well, for Dan Rady, Steve Gibson, Bob Tobicash, Jason Markovitz, Rob Taglarina, Gary Nagel, Alex Badzinski, and anyone else that's ever been on Type 3 TV. This is John Badzinski. Say goodnight, Buddha.
Nick Riddle.
Yeah, that's right, you could. Buddha.
Good night, Buddha.